Alrighty, Doc here from North America. Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. It's not another fun-filled week. It's not Monday. I was thinking for a moment there that it is Monday, and it's obviously not Monday. Pretty much, in the end result is that what we're looking at here is the kind of the week in many ways ended on Wednesday. That's the way we always look at it every year. It seems to always play out that way. When we look in hindsight to the markets and what the daily buy is and the weekly buy or sell or daily sell or whatever. In the end result, Wednesday seems to be the predominant numbers, and then what we get electronically on Thursday across the world, and what we get at the same time on Friday. A lot, mainly, unless it's something really dramatic, and I guess I could reach back in my memory and tell you that particular dramatic thing, but we'd all know what it is. It's relatively irrelevant at this point. These numbers are, as much as it seems crazy, and that's the big challenge always. With markets and what our math resolves, which is really odd. It has me totally captivated for 40 some odd years now, watching it do this, and it's like, how does it know? That's the bigger question that I've gone to everywhere and anywhere to try to figure that out. And from strings 2014 and 15, 16 and 17 and 18 and 19 and 20 was pretty entertaining down in South Africa. But in the end result is, how does it know? That math does seem to be reading something, and it's not something that we can see, and it just seems to always do that. All right, let's get to the chat line. I don't seem to have been. Where is the chat line? Oh, there it is. Let's go. Let's go to the chat line. There we go. So that's the thing that always catches my eye, and I've learned my lesson over the decades to not take the rest of the week serious unless something really, really is dramatically happen. AK, hello to you. How are you? It's I guess it's like it's the week of 3 Fridays or something like that. It's the 4-day weekend, and the markets are here. My trader yesterday, I think he said he was up 5,000. He's trading the market. He's happy. He thought it was, he's scalping in this odd, sloppy market, but good, God bless him. And so, in the end result is that's how we look at this week, and I try to emphasize even days and weeks ahead of time. Try not to take this trend you see here right now too serious, and try not to invest slash trade slash position slash serious. Don't. And so it's the end of the year. Tax season is coming on. Institutions need to sell some of the most illogical ways and products and move their currency positions a certain way. And next thing you know is we're going to find, the ECB, the European Central Bank, borrowing $30 billion from the Federal Reserve. And you're going to be saying, that's crazy. Why do they even need to borrow money from the Federal Reserve? It's like, can't they just print it like what we all assume is going on? So anyway, that's my little lecture for this particular holiday here in the States, and in the Christmas season itself. Over the next, we'll get a couple good weeks again now. Probably next week, the following week, we should get some half decent trading out of it, where it'll look like we're starting to try to move back to norm, and then out of nowhere, bam, it'll get sloppy again. So until this tax season's over with. All right, we're starting off with the Swiss franc, as we have now. It has become now a habit to start off with the Swiss franc, and you can see right here the dollar is trying to be firm. Yesterday, it looked like the dollar was trying to be firm when we started the webinar off, and by the end of the day, it was sloppy down. Lots of little red dots there, and then you can see over here on J4X, same situation. You got 3 days with red. With the Hinky Ashi, you see the white line through. You see that pressure is on. You don't see the strength that's kicking out today because, again, Hinky Ashi is a what do they call that? A lagging indicator, not a leading indicator. So, that's the name of the game there. That is the name of the game. And so we will watch. We'll see how it plays out. So forth and so on. And let's see, what are we doing here now? All right, so we can see. Let's look at just the J4X over here. You can see we're down at the bottom end of the range. We don't usually pay attention to the range per se. It's interesting to look at, but we're really looking at the differential between the three lines, where they are, how they act. You can see here the CCI is trying to bounce up, and we look at this here. You can see this is trying to bounce up also at the same time, but we really follow the white and the dotted, and the dashed purple to us is more like kind of like, you can see it has characteristics where it's following the trend, but we really watch these two. These two are really the insight. When it broke here, the two, the white and the little dotted goldish one, you can see the pressure was on right there. And then it emulates our math. It makes it work better that way. All right, let's jump over to where are we headed now? Let's take a look at the euro. Oh, I feel a sneeze wanting to come on. Oh no, where's my handkerchief? Excuse me. Excuse me. There we go. All right, so let's take a look at the euro now. See what the euro's up to. And anybody wants to see anything, just throw it out there. We'll jump. We don't have to go through the rhythm that we go through each day. We stop. We're very happy to stop what we're looking at and taking a look at something someone would like to see. All right, now you can see here the weekly seems to be relatively firm. It's trying to stay up, and you can see the trend overall. Well, that's where it went into the weekly buy right here. It became, but with a daily sell. So you saw that it was a neutral position, and it slid down. And then the weekly started to kick in. You can see it getting firmer here, and you can see a daily buy there, and you can see the strength came in, and that was the winner chicken dinner, because you couldn't take this trade because, again, we were in a sell here. And you can see the overall trend is up, and you can see it's firm. And let's see what else we can say. That's about it. But pretty much Wednesday was the whole game right there. It's pretty much the end of the week. And it's going to have to do some really interesting things and close below our numbers to make me really take any of it that serious. And even then, I'm very leery, especially on the dailies. This particular week with the holiday, I look at Wednesday as literally the close, and I skip Thursday and Friday altogether in my head unless something dramatic, and let me define what dramatic is. Some type of economic calamity that occurs for a particular currency, their leadership, some type of literally a minor political war conflict on a border, that type of thing. It takes something dramatic to really stir it. Heavy embezzlement by a president or prime minister, something really dramatic out of the norm, very much out of the norm. Joshua, is my FIRS time watching Glad to Watch a Professional? Oh, this is my first time watching Glad to Watch a Professional. Oh, well, thank you. Yeah, we've been a trader for over 40 years. A member of all the exchanges for, back when the exchanges now, nobody's a member of an exchange anymore. Just the broker dealers at this point. But I was an old floor trader. Traded in the commodities markets. I started off in the equities markets. Traded in the equities markets. Traded the original options universe. Was involved in the options at the very beginning, the first few years of the options universe. The listed options. Took my math from my physics that I developed to the financial markets when they created listed options, and been trading ever since. I've seen all kinds of things, from trading from the floors to trading from the equity floors to the trading to the commodity floors, trading to trading currency floors. We in the beginning I was trading cash currency options on an exchange floor and equity options, and then indexes in '83, and then commodities and indexes in 84 and 85 and 86, all the way up into the 90s. The World Trade Center, I was a member the first time I had its calamity of someone trying to blow it up in 94, 95. A member at the CEC there, also a member of the Amex, member at the New York Stock Exchange. Whatever question you ask, I should be able to answer, or I should be able to tell you where you can go to find that answer. Just because I've been that experienced. Worked for hedge funds throughout the 90s, into the 2000s, up until 2006. Had my own hedge fund in 2004 to 6, and now just kind of been just trading on my own since then. Oh yeah, and doing the webinars. Started doing the webinars, going into 10 or 11 or 12, I guess it was. Let's see, is my first time watching. Well, I'm glad. We have a fact check spreadsheet there. That's what this is all about. Let's explain some of this to you so you can understand it. Right there, there's the fact check spread. Whoop, I pushed the wrong button. So let's go like upload, and then we go cancel it, and then it'll go away. There we are. And then here's our fact check spreadsheet. What we do is we look at a weekly trend. Here we're talking about weekly and daily trends. So when you see these numbers, like corn is in a weekly buy for 15 weeks, we'll just go with the top one and go look at it real quick just to give you a flavor of it. That's funny. I think I did this on Wednesday or Thursday. I might have done the same thing. Someone might have asked. And so you can see where that big green line is where we went into the weekly buy. And you can see, look, you can see behind it, it kept on sliding into daily buys and weekly buys and sells for. Well, actually, what is that? That's a minus, so that doesn't belong there. Remove that one. And that doesn't belong there because it was still in the sell from this one. And oh, you know what? Maybe I should have saved one of those. I could have put it there because that is the sell right there. So let's see, what do we got here? Yeah, so let's put that back in there. Put this one there. There's the sell, and let's fix that. Now, what happens is that you get these signals from our math, and then like in the case here, it did some. You follow the weekly and the daily combined together, and then in this case here, you can see where it finally went into the weekly buy again after bouncing in and out a few times, and then it went on its wild tear. You never know. We don't know. We just follow the math. The math tells us, and the dailies will keep you honest. And you can see here it went into the daily buy here, and then you get some a digestion, I guess you would call it, like a sideways rest, and you get into these sells. Let's widen that out now like that. And what that means basically is you're in a weekly buy, so you don't take the shorts. You can take profits off of it, but don't take a short. And then you get the green and tells you you can get long, and you can see it's just only one day. The way it's being fed, they put a gap in there, but it's just, if you notice the date on the top where it says 10-9, and then 10-12, it's the week shift, from Friday to Monday. And then, for some reason it's trying to show the weekends. I don't know why. And then it doesn't interfere with our math. And then you can see here on that Monday, it goes into a sell, and it goes down a little bit into Tuesday, and then next thing you know, by Wednesday, it's back into a buy. Now, you can't take the sell because, again, we're in a weekly buy here. And then you can see it's a winner, chicken dinner. It goes into the buy, and it goes up, and away. You see the red dot and green dot emphasize some volatility coming, and you can see it does top it out and gives us a break, but it took 4 days for it to do it there, which was curious. And then you see the sell there. Again, don't take it because it's in a weekly buy. And that's how we follow all the products. And that's how, at the same time, oh, wait a minute, you couldn't see that. There we go, there we are. And you can see that we're in a weekly buy here on these, so you don't take those sells from that. And then you get into a buy, and then you can take the buy. But you can't take the sells, you can take the profit. In this case here, it starts to get longed in the tooth, I guess you could say, and it goes into a buy, it goes up the next day, and then it rolls over. It goes into a sell here, and then it, for a couple of days it's going sideways down, but we're still in a weekly buy, and then you can see it gets into a buy here, but it doesn't really, it's not magnificent like one of these. It's kind of sloppy. It's towards the end of, I guess, what is it, 15 weeks, as we emphasize there. It's 15 weeks. Now, each week, it's like wheat. Wheat went into a weekly sell last week. Let's show you wheat. It's now into a 1. And then, and there's the weekly sell. And we closed in a daily sell Wednesday, and I don't even know if they're trading the grains right now because of the holiday here in the States. Let's reload that. And no trades since then. And we'll see how they treat that today. And then what happened was it was in this big long uptrend for a while too, like the way corn was. And you see the ins and outs it did. Let's get rid of that line there. I think that's just a daily buy. And yeah, it was a daily buy there and caught the move. And we were probably emphasizing something with these volatility points kicking out over two of them in a row. And then a third one kicked out. And then they gave us a slide. You can see how high up this white line is. As time goes on, if you come back to the webinars, you'll see all kinds of neat stuff and some insight to the marketplace. And so that's how it works, Joshua. All right. And now, if you have a particular product you'd like to see how it acts in our math, just throw it up on the chat line and we'll go take a look at it. If not, I go back to my currency rhythm. We do that for the first half hour. And then we slide into the commodities, looking at gold and oil and so forth, and the stock indices and whatever out there catches anybody's eye, copper or whatever it is, and then that's how this whole webinar rolls along, and we bootleg from it. We're always going in and out of whatever is going on. All right, let's jump over to the currencies again, right there, and you can see the euro is been in a weekly buy from here, and it shows up on the fact sheet on line 14 right there, and you see that 5 weeks in a weekly buy right there. Let's do that again. There we go. And 2 days in a daily buy. And it's been trying to go up. And let's see now that is, since it's a world currency and it's a cash spot, that's trading all the time. That's very active and very good, and that's really nice. All right, let's take a look at cable. We talked about cable yesterday, and we were talking about the technical work on it, I think. Right there. You see, we've looked at this. This is going all the way. This black line is going all the way back into like 2018, where this has become a real resistance or a ceiling that stops trades. I'll show it to you. It was close there. It was aggressive there in 2019. And for you people who use Fibonacci, you can Fibonacci that line there with the bottom. The different bottoms, and watch the way it marches along. You see it stops there in 2019 again in March. You see it has its issues here all the way in 2018 in June. And then that's coming down from a nice run up into the 40s. And it becomes like a base after a while, after becoming a ceiling and a fight, a resistance. You can see there, and just interesting. We talked about that on Wednesday, the Wednesday Friday. That's what it really comes down to. It's the end of the week has already occurred, and what we're seeing now is just sloppy action. Pretty much most traders in the States are going to be doing different things, like I am. Oh, GPP, JPY. Let's tune that in. It's just I like to do the webinar because I like currencies, and I've been trading currencies since 81. Well, maybe 77 when I was a student in England, but in professional level, 80 or 81. I guess it would be 81. All right, now let's see. Going into 82, I guess it was. Let's go take a look at the GBP JPY right there. I forget why we created this big box. We were following it. I think we were looking at it as a reverse head and shoulders. In the beginning, we were looking at this as one shoulder. This was the head. This was the other shoulder. We thought that when it did this, we thought it would do the William O'Neill cup and saucer. That was the handle. And then we figured it would do this and then go up, and went a little bit further south of that. And then it went up. And that's why the box is around that. You can see some of what we refer to as exotic pairs, trend much better. Notice there's a lot less noise in them. In the case here, you can see it goes into a sell, and then where's the buy at? Let's grab one of these buy. Let's just throw another buy in here. No, that's the buy. Let's see, where's it at? right there. And so there's the buy again. You can trade the long side. And then we can move the sell over like so. And you don't take the sell because you're in the buy again. And then, it tries to jump into a buy here and then falls apart. There's a loser. And then my math always does it. It always comes back. And if you take it on the chin from our math, the next trade or the next following trade will make it back every time. It's amazing. It's been doing it for me for over 40 years. And so then there's your buy again, and then there's a nice big winner chicken dinner that took care of that loss right there. And then you go into the sell here, and you can see we're breaking down. And there's the weekly sell right there, and it started there. So with the daily sell and with this when you're watching our charts and you see this thing underneath here like that, and the histogram is minus, you can take a small shot at that. We'd like them to be closed for the week when it comes to the weekly, the daily, daily close, not jumping in the middle of it. But if you're trading options, you can definitely have a short on, and boy, is that a winner chicken dinner. And there's the full confirm at the close of the week right there. And then you can see that gives you a little bit more, not much, just a little bit. And then we get ourselves a buy signal there, so not to be short at the moment. And then it gives you a short right there, and there's a winner chicken dinner again. And then it gets you out of it, and you missed this whole short right there solely because our buy told you not to be there. Then finally it gets into the, there's a short there, and you're in the short, and that's okay. You catch a little wave of that, and that's a winner. And then you get into a daily buy here, and this isn't a weekly buy at this point, probably somewhere's in here, but the confirm is the close of the week. You see the strength, and that's how you read our math and watch how it plays. How's that, AK? Is that good? You got a grasp now on where this thing's going? Let's shrink it up and see if we can pontificate about that. It looks like a big sideways trend and choppy. About a 600-700 pip range, The buy was here. Let's bring that over and widen it out so we can take a look at what it's doing lately. That's what trading's all about too. What have you done for me lately? That's usually the way it goes. And so you can see no one's looked at it. There's no lines on it, right? You can't do the sell there. That buy is good. The reason why you can is you got a red and a green dot on it. And then the real first sell comes right there. But you're in a weekly buy, so you can't take the short. You only could keep this long for this whole good move, which is a winner chicken dinner. And then you can see it corrects itself, tries to go back into the buy right there. Let's see what it does when we mark it. And it goes in the wrong way, and it goes back into the sell. You take a little bit on the chin. You give up some of the little profit from this nice move from here all the way up to there. You give up about that much profit, which is not bad. And then it goes into a buy again, and you can get the volatility signal the day beforehand right there, and that's the buy right there. And it's not much of a trade really. You can see this is just such a strong move. When you get a red and green dot, and the next day the white line, and not the next day, the first hours that you're showing this strength, you're allowed to get long, but you're not really seeing my charts. Very few people subscribe to our live service. So let's see, what do we got here? Hey, how you doing? Let's see, hi, Doc. How are you? Just putting up with this crazy holiday, the way it kind of overlaps itself. And not counting the crazy virus stuff that everybody's driving everybody crazy about at the same time. But myself, I'm doing fine. Thank you for asking. I'm sorry I arrived late. Did you get caught in traffic? I hear you. In the internet traffic, you were trying to enter. I guess it was in the 90s, I created an index for the internet. And I got one exchange one exchange that said they were going to do it. And so they backed it, and the Securities Exchange Commission gave me a symbol. It was WAY, and we had on-ramps to the internet and off-ramps, and we had, producers and, speed and so forth. We had like 7 different indexes. We tried 7 different internet indexes combined together with the Way index itself, which was like the top of the top at the time. This was like 94 95, 96, 97, something like that. And I got this. The Securities Exchange Commission gave us a symbol, the WAY. So it was funny, when I just had a flashback to it when you said you were late. He was coming up on, there was traffic in front of the on-ramp to the internet. I just took a sip of my coffee. Yeah, so I'm just trying to interpret what our math is trying to really tell us about this. Now you can see here, it went into the sell there on, let's see, what is that? That's over the holiday. Yeah, on the holiday itself. Ooh. So there's a little pressure there. You can see it breaking down, but you can't take the short, of course, because again, it's in a weekly buy. So we'll see what that does. Maybe it gets some legs again on the upside when it goes back into a daily buy again. How's that? Is that good for you there, AK? Now, let's drift over to, what else are we going to look at? Oh, yeah, sure. We were just looking at the Swiss, but I have no problem going back and looking at something we've already looked at. Trust me. You never know what you're going to spot. Let's put it up on the J4X. Always glad to go back. Trust me. I find it, just double checking things. I mean, I must look at things over and over and over again. You can see the dollar overall is on a downtrend again. At the same time, we're flirting with a weekly buy. so it's going to be very fascinating. We're daily sell there, and it has slid down. And you can see over in J4X, you can see it's still heading down. The white line is not even remotely challenging the dotted line there. So, and that's pretty much the Swiss. And overall, it looks like a reverse head and shoulders too, doesn't it? And that's kind of odd because that would mean that basically the dollar is going to be strong again. So let's scrunch that up and see how it looks. But it does have, and we've seen that here. I think we drew that in. We were talking about the ABCs and the reverse head and shoulders here. See those lines? I'm not even sure what that line's all about, but we'll get rid of that. But we were talking about something at one point. And then you can see we keep on getting these reverse head and shoulders and some volatility signals there. This is the daily chart. What else can we say about it? I guess it has been interesting how it goes in and out. In this case here, let's see. Let's put that weekly in. There's the daily buy right there. Goes into a weekly sell, and within a day it goes into a daily buy, so you miss being short this whole move here, and then you get into the sell here, and it's a winner chicken dinner. So you don't really lose any money. Oop, wrong spot. So you don't really get beat up. See, this is why I'm glad to go back to it. It was a good example, looking at the saltine against the dollar. And so you can see here it's in a sell, and then it gives you a nice trade. And then this crazy wild day. This is the coronavirus virus cures. 2 of them came out that day, and we've seen another one come out on this day. I think it was, and they're resolving this. Trumpy made sure he got that thing resolved. You can see we slid into the weekly sell last week from this action, went into a buy, and then right into a daily sell. And you can see this thing is trying all week long to trying to climb back up again. So. And it does have that. This is pretty dramatic, and I guess it's because of the virus cure. You can see when it did a big spike here, it didn't survive. This one, I guess it's doing the same thing. It's hard to say. It's working its way down like it did here, and then maybe what it's going to do is build a base for the reverse head and shoulders, and maybe we're going to see a move up to here. That means a strong dollar, which is kind of odd. I don't expect to see too strong a dollar, but let's see. Oh, no problem. How was that, AA? Was that good? And AK, good. I gave you that's right. AK, I was telling about the GBP, JPY. Excellent. And that's the whole objective. I really enjoyed looking at things. I enjoy trading. I enjoy technical analysis. I like pontificating about what the math is trying to tell us, because it's surely ahead of me. There's no doubt about that. I'm just always fascinated. I've been fascinated for 43 years since I invented this form of math. And so it's really had me curious when I saw Gregorian Perlman's work that he won the Fields Medal in 2003 or 4 or 2 or whatever, right around there, 3. That caught my eye. I was totally fascinated with that. It was getting closer to my math. It was very fascinating. I went to Princeton and looked at my math from the eyes of the Institute of Advanced Studies, and again, they just don't have anywhere near what I'm playing with. It's close, but our math is ahead of the curve. I think we're measuring a surface. I have no idea what exactly we're measuring, but I can say this: it has all the characteristics of a surface, and no matter what object we put on it, it measures it. Be it a currency, be it a moving object, be it an expanding galaxy, be it a isotope particle, it all measures the same thing all the time. And that's a very heavy Descartes, Spinoza, philosophical, Aristotle question mark there. And I use it for financial markets, and I love playing with it. And it's funny to watch in real time every day. It blows my mind. Makes me feel like I'm 21 years old. All right, that's where we are. Done. What's a word I should look for there? I'm done. Raving. It was a rave. All right. Anybody want to see anything else? If not, we'll just drift back to, where were we? Oh, we haven't seen the Turkish lira yet. See what they're doing. I heard was it a German boat or a French boat stopped no, I think it was German special forces stopped a Turkish boat going to Libya or something like that. Okay, this is what we talked about, when this happened here, and that is now we're going to be 52 weeks in a weekly buy. You can see that this is line 17. There it is right there. This is the Turkish lira against the dollar, and it's 51 weeks in a buy now. We got close last week. We thought we were going to finally top out. We've been talking about that. Maybe 52, like the deck of cards, and that's it. I've never seen a product go 52 weeks in one trend. I've seen 27 back to back a few times, where you go 27 weeks in a trend, a weekly trend, and then stop, and then a couple weeks in different trend, and then another 27 weeks. I saw Enron, the energy company, do that. I saw Corning Glass do that. It went back to back 27s also, I think it was, or was it 32s? It was something odd like that. And then it fell from like 200 and something a share down to like 17 a share. I saw Enron go from 60 in the high 60s to 0 over a 227 week period with a couple of breaks. And so in this case here, this product's been in a weekly buy for 52 weeks. You can see it's breaking down there. I guess it was at yesterday. So it went back into the sell here. Wrong spot. Remove. There we are. Well, we're all consuming turkey. And you can see it's still weak, a little weak. No pun intended there. And you can see still a little weak. And we thought this might be an A and a B and a C. We're thinking that something's going on, that money is slowly sliding back in, or let's see, or we're thinking maybe it's taxes. Maybe all those shorts that have been shorting this product for last year is trying to take some profits out of it. I mean, they've got some big profits in it. So, and it's coming up on the tax season. Let's see. Okay, and it says Joshua says Russian. Russian what? Oh, that was different. You want to see the ruble? I can show you the ruble. Let me know if you want to see the ruble. Also, isn't that that's an electric universe symbol, right? Are you a brother? You're a brother of mine. We're both in the electric universe. Joshua. Isn't that's the electric universe? You're a Birkeland current man. Oh, was it a Russian boat? No, that was the destroyer. That's that. Yeah, I saw that story. That was a. That was a. Wait, let me go back to that. Let me see. I'll put that story up. But that was a. That was a. Where was it? That I saw that story this morning. That was a destroyer being chased. Yeah. A little fun and games there, I guess. I don't know. I think they get along a lot better than people realize. But then the Russian Federation has a lot to deal with. They're young and they're growing and they're trying to evolve and they've got incredible amounts of resources. They've got an educated workforce. They've got minerals. There's a lot of positives. That's why I'm a very positive ruble person all the time. But isn't that a symbol of the electric universe, Joshua? That looks like it to me. That's an electrical. That's an electrical current symbol for the electric universe you have on your chat line there. Let me see if I can find that story for you. Yeah, I saw that too. That was kind of funny. There we go. Let's see. Let's see. There it is, right there. There it is. Let's see if we can put this rare footage. There we go. Let's put it up on the screen there. This is what you're talking about. Let's see if we can find the mouse. There it is. There we go. Rare footage shows Russian warship chasing U.S. destroyer on border incident. What are they doing there? There you go. Here it is. There it is. There's the. There we go. And that looks like the U.S. destroyer right there, because I see it's an Aegis class. And I guess it's being filmed from the Russian ship, right? They're a good distance off. What is that, like 500 yards? And then, what did I see? Let me see if we can find the other story. What was I saying? I saw something. Where was it? I thought it was odd. There it is. French pushes for U.S. sanctions on Turkey over Mediterranean gas. I saw that. And then I saw... Where was it? There it is. Here's the one I was talking about. Watch moment. German commandos intercept raid a Turkish ship bound for Libya. That's the one I was talking about. And we were talking about the Turkish currency. That's why I was mentioning that. So there's that story. There we go. We'll go back to the charts now. So let's see. Yes, look into the electric universe. Yeah, that's and that's how they view that too. They've documented that symbol. That's why it's one of the symbols in the electric universe. I after Princeton, I was totally enamored with I was interested in Dukascopy, and I sent him a letter when he was alive, back in the 70s, and the electric universe is much better at explaining all astronomical events than the gravitational, mainstream institutional physics and cosmology. And I used to do Thrunch, and I don't know if I'm going to chase people away by mentioning Thrunch, but that's Thursday lunch at the Princeton University's astronomy building. And you would have different people come in from around the country, and other astronomers, and they would be showing you their modeling and so forth. It would be like 6 or 7 of us, maybe 15, 3, 4, 5, maybe about 12 of us, and somebody from the Institute of Advanced Study would be there, or a few, at least one person. And then there would be a few others, and a couple of, it was mainly professors. There were some students that slid in. And I would do Thrunch, and all they do is they follow astronomy and the Big Bang and all this other stuff and black holes through gravitational mathematics. And the electric universe follows astronomy through the electrical laws of Maxwell and Faraday and Birkeland and you know, Fontaine and they're it's much more precise and much more functional, and it's really you can't believe the gravitational scientists how bad they are in fear. I mean, when I say bad, they can't even talk. They don't know how to even express things. They're just it's all gravitational that leads nowhere, and everything they've put up there makes no sense. And the dust in the in our galaxy makes no sense to them. And they've made up things like dark matter and black holes, and they've twisted mathematics to a point now where they can't even. They're in a room together having a lunch and doing an observation of somebody's work, maybe from MIT or from Dartmouth or just from around the communities, and they can't even talk to each other, because they don't. They talk a little bit about, well, that's the dust, and that's we've been modeling it, and we've been running the runtime for this, and that's it. That's all they talk about. They can't even articulate true science and speculation anymore and theorizing, because they're following a dead end. And you have that symbol is the electric universe and the Thunderbolts project and spaceweather.com and Pierre Robotas and I can name you others that have some of them have Nobel prizes in the electrical side, and and so much better. It's such a dichotomy in a war. But anyway, done about that. Okay, you got me off. I'll get off the soapbox and we'll go back to the markets. But that's what you got there. Let's see. Is something I made up? But okay. There we go. Into that. All right. Now back to the markets. Alrighty. And so there's the Turkish lira. Let's drift over to the Canadian. See what the Canadian's doing. You see, it's picking up some value. It's going down, and that's the key to it. We've been in a weekly sell there, and you can see the daily is trying to flirt. It could not go into a buy because of that, because again the white line and the histogram are minus here, so it just throws that out at you, and the next day they roll over it. That's the Thanksgiving right there, and that's today. And it looks like it's going to stay into a weekly sell for a second week with no problem, especially since the fact that more than likely this was the close of the week right there, and this is just all noise. All right. So from there, what we do is we look at the NASCAD, which is kind of like a cleaner way of looking at the Canadian and the oil market at the same time. And this is the loonie trade. You can see we've been in a weekly buy here and a daily buy there, and you can see the strength there. And probably when we go to the crude oil, you're going to see the same situation. It's going to be following the same direction. So let's do that. Let's slide over to crude oil. And there's crude oil right there. And as you can see, we've been in a daily buy since here, but we've been trapped all week long in a sell since we've been in a sell since here, and it went down, and then we had this was the virus. We really got our head handed to us there. The virus cure came out, 2 of them, and it gapped it up, meaning that the world economy was going to get going. Shows you there wasn't a lot of front running on the oil market because of that. And you can see here, we were in a buy here, and you couldn't be short for this move. So at least half of this was protected in a sense. And then and now you can see, it fell back down a little bit into this area here, and then still it didn't dip below here where this came out here. But you can see that now it's showing us that the strength is coming out. There was the volatility signal right there, and the daily buy there. And if you're trading option spreads or something like that, it's safer to play this daily. But especially with the incline rising here, breaking the time manifold there, and showing strength to getting into the weekly buy there. And so that's where we are at the moment. And that is oil. Oh, let's see what Joshua says here. That's amazing. I looked that up. Oh yeah. Yeah. It's a grounding out of a current, and just to give you a quick flash from not drive you too crazy. They do believe historically the electric universe, scientists and so forth, we all look at it and think that there's a combination. When you go back and you look at past cultures, they use that symbol all over the planet. and in time periods that commingle with astrological events that we know is based off of electrical history. In other words, measuring the remnants of high current burns. And so, you know, and our work since Velikovsky, and then before that, Alfvén, you know, Birkeland. Birkeland explains how Birkeland, who's from the 20s and 30s, I think he has a Nobel Prize too. Birkeland, you know, advanced Maxwell and Faraday mathematics into electrical concepts. You know, advanced the electrical concepts like the way Tesla did and so forth. And his theory explains very well how stars are created. Also, the sun is an electrical process. It's like a capacitor. It's not a nuclear fusion or fission or whatever process. You know, it's not a nuclear process. And that's an electrical theory explains why the temperatures are different. How the surface can be cooler than from the center. Because it's not. It's a capacitor. And we, you know, our solar system moves along a path orbiting around the center of the galaxy, just like the way the Earth orbits the sun every 365 days. And so I know we're drifting again. But yes, get into that. Doc, you got questions, I can always answer more of them, but I don't want to get too deep into it. But our mathematics is so much more accurate, explains all of it, and I can tell you I've been where I've been to the mountaintop, and I can tell you that they have no idea what they're looking at. The electrical universe's mountaintop is so much more accurate. Way more accurate, much more explanatory, and so forth. All right, let's go over to gold. And remember, anybody wants to shut me up, just throw a stock symbol or a commodity symbol or a currency symbol on the chat line, and I'll stop talking about the electric universe and go right to something else. Now you can see here, you know, we've been all week long in the sell, you know, here, and you can see we're in a daily sell in gold now for ever since the virus signal. Now that one we lucked out. We didn't get trapped in the gap there because we were in a weekly sell at the time here, so you couldn't be long, and it gave us a signal not to be short, and too bad there. But then it gave us a signal to be short and went sideways for about $40-50, and then gave it to us. And at the same time, we're in a weekly sell this week with it. So, you know, we've been weekly in a daily sell here. You can see this thing's been rolling over since here, and it's been a winner chicken dinner, and it's been pretty cool. Let's take a look at silver since we're looking at gold, and same situation. Here, where we've been in a weekly buy, and then you know it didn't really go anywhere, and it actually lost a little money. And now the thing has been in the weekly sell area. It's going to confirm today, and just like gold is, and we've been in the daily sell since there. And you know, that was an interesting adventure. You can see we're in a weekly sell from the 8-year high, or 7-year high from there, and it's been some good downside trades. And so that's where we are with that. Let's see. LS says, how Joe cheated on the election. Will election results change? Yes. Trump will be president in January. He will. The Electoral College is going to give him, you know, the presidency. So, and that's the way it's supposed to work. So, Pennsylvania on Tuesday? Or was it Wednesday? Pennsylvania on Wednesday said that they're going to give Pennsylvania's going to give them, like Joe's walking around claiming he has Pennsylvania. The Assembly and the Senate said they're going to give it to Trump, and more than likely everywhere else is going to give it to Trump also at the same time. And Trump even said if the Electoral College says that Biden is the president, he will step down. But the Electoral College is going to give Trump the presidency, so he'll be president in January. And that's the way it'll roll. But the media is not telling you any of that. All right, so now, let's see. Where are we at? We left silver. Let's go to copper. Let's see what copper looks like here. You know what I want to do is I want to save this, too, since I'm here. Let me do that, because I need to save it and then refresh it there. So there's the silver, and I'll do that. And let me just save it There we go. And then let me do the crude oil there too. Not the crude oil, the gold. Yeah, crude oil. There we go. Let's refresh it, and we'll save that. And then we're going to drift over to copper and take a look at copper and see what copper looks like. And this way we'll look at 3 of the metals. And there's gold. Let's just refresh that. And save that. There we go. We can look at some stock indices too before, unless someone wants to see something. No problem, AA. You just can always ask for a question. I mean, no problem. You're not limited to one, as Daniel usually says, who's in the webinar. I always say it's cheaper by the dozen. I charge the same price for the first one as I do the last one. It's all for free. So, all right, now let's take a look at copper. Let's see what copper looks like. Because that has been holding up and looking very strong. So, with crude oil and the industrial side of this, I think they're doing an anticipation of the Trumpy. Now, you can see here we've been in a weekly buy way back here. I think they're anticipating that I think the markets are anticipating that it's pretty clear that Trump is going to be president in January. And I think that's why the markets have been firm. Let me save the copper one too. There it is. And I think that's why you're seeing this action here. You can see we've been in a daily buy since there, I guess it is. And you've been in a weekly buy since here, so you could take some of these buys. And you can see here where it was correcting. You missed pretty much all this sloppiness because of the sell all the way up to there. So, and there was your volatility signal on that one. So it was at the beginning of the bar, and then gave you the ride up. Let's take a look at platinum. We'll look at all 4 metals at this point. Did I save this? Activate again. There we go. Let me just save that just in case I didn't. Copper, copper, copper. There we are. Let's take a look at platinum. There it is right there. January platinum. And it's doing the same thing. It's popping up. Oh, no, it's doing the same thing as gold and silver. It's falling over too. But notice the weekly is holding up in here. And I went into the buy here in the 870s area, 880s area, 890s area, something like that. And then, yeah, 892. Then knocked it down one day and then took it all the way up to here. Was that 892 to a high of 969. So it was about a 60 some odd $70 move there. All right, let's take a look at the stock indices. There's the NASDAQ. You can see the stock market is firm. Remember, buy on rumor, sell on news. So markets are anticipating that Mr. Trump will be the president. I can't even imagine them keeping markets at all-time highs if they thought Joe Biden was going to be president. That would be a little too weird. I mean, money would be terrified with him as president. And that's the NASDAQ 100, which is all the major stocks that we use today to function as a society. And then here, this is the S&P 500, which is the most global index of them all. 50% of the stocks in this index are foreign incorporated. And the other 50 are U.S. stocks. You can see this is at all-time highs right here. And you can see we're fighting to get into that weekly buy this week also. Let's refresh that. Did I do that right? No, cancel. Yeah, right there. Reload it. Very close. See what that does today. And we'll save that. And our markets close in a very short period of time too. Like right after lunch, 1 o'clock-ish our time on East Coast side. So there is that. Now let's see what else we can find here. There's natural gas. Oh, well, we got some questions. I love it. I'm already a better trader now having started watching you. That's cool. Just got an $800 on gold in an evaluated demo account with a large drop that just happened, but I don't use nearly as complicated system as yours. That's good. That's good. Would be interesting to learn more on subbing. I think you mentioned you offer sub to your software. Yeah, Chicago Quant Technologies. Let's see. Let's just here. I'll give it to you really quick. You know, I'm here every day on Dukascopy. I've commingled my work with the J4X here you can use, and at the same time, there's our website. Where's our website? There's our website right there. Chicago Quant Technologies. Oop. I don't think we're supposed to be showing that. Let's see, where's it at? There we are. There it is. Chicago Quant Technologies. One of these things will do it. There it is, right there. There it is. There's the website. There it is, right there. There's the website. Okay, there we go. So yeah, you can tune in there, but you get a chance every day live to talk to me on J4X and on Dukascopy, the subsidiary of Swiss Bank, and then so forth and so on. So let's go back to the charts real quick, right there. So yeah, you can. That'll help you out, and we're here. You can, we answer questions, talk about ideas, look at markets, the whole bit. And that's the way we roll. Now look at natural gas. It's not in a week. It's been in a weekly sell since here, and it went sideways up and then finally broke down. But you can see here they're starting to pick it up a little bit. That was a pretty hot move there. Oh, I see. That was Wednesday. See, there's nothing going on in the product. In some of these products, after Wednesday, they just don't even trade them, because it's it's the holidays here, and so we go through that rigmarole every year. Whereas like something like crude oil is very active, but some of the products just don't even trade. Now you can see here, robo gasoline, the gas oil that goes in for automobiles to power them, is going into a weekly buy. We can put the cute little circle here, like that. There we are. And you can see at the same time, we've been in the daily buy since here, so it's been an interesting move there, which again is an interpretation as far as I'm concerned. The math is telling us that the market is interpreting the idea that Mr. Trump is going to be in the White House because the economy grows really well with him in the White House. So I can't imagine them saying, oh, good, Joe Biden is going to get the Electoral College and he's going to be president. And it doesn't work that way. So we'll see what goes on there. But at this point in time, Mr. Biden looks like he's lost the election because Pennsylvania is going to pull their 20 Electoral College votes. They kind of announced that they're going to do that on Wednesday, I think it was. And the media is not covering it at all. So that makes him under 269. He needs 270 to win. And then Michigan's probably going to do the same thing. And we're going to probably see Georgia do the same thing. And in the end result, Mr. Trump is going to win it all. So it's been a very weird election. Okay, so that's the Russell. This is the most speculative stocks. These are really low caps. And you can see the strength in that. We were in a buy, then we went into the sell, and now we went into the buy last week here. And you can see we've been in a buy for that move up. So yeah, we'll be able to, you'll be able to, tune in here. And we do offer, you can use J4X. We can show you how to use J4 job too. And I use it myself for different things, especially in the currencies. And you can see this is a public indicators. And we've commingled them to emulate our work, even with the Hinky Ashy. So this is a good tool right here. And then if you don't have me live and you're just following my charts, and then you want to try to see where things could be during the day, you can go with this at the same time. But use this as the primer, mine, right there, and then use this as a backup, and you can always ask questions or change charts through our subscription service and so forth. All right, there's Bitcoin. Bitcoin was really curious. That's all kinds of whack, because of the holiday. We went into the sell here, and we are flirting with the weekly sell there as we speak. Let's reload that, and let's save that right there. And that's the Bitcoin. We're real pro cryptocurrency here. We really see that the cryptos are a good tool. We believed it from the beginning, and I think that people using the cryptos are spot on. All right, traders, time for me to get out of here. This is Doc from North America, the Singing Trader. Happy trails to you until we meet again. That'll be Monday. So TGIF for the third time this week. Happy trails to you